Mobile commerce and smartphone use, we all know it's growing every day, growing every year, but how are customers exactly using their mobile devices, specifically in terms of interacting with retailers? Well, there's some data that just came out today that we are going to talk about. Hi, I'm Daniel Burstein, Director of Editorial Content at Marketing Sherpa. We are at the Marketing Sherpa Media Center at IRCE, and joining me now is Louis DeJaney, the Director of Retail and Consumer Products at UPS. Thanks for joining us, Louis.
Thanks for having me, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so you brought some data with you that you said just came out today. Tell us, how did you get this data?
Just came out today. Every year we do a survey, a partnership with ComScore. We survey, this year we did 5,300 customers that are typical users of e-commerce. And what they do is they purchase at least two items in 3-month time period. So we feel it's a great sample of a typical online consumer. So what we do is we ask them about 150 questions about their preferences around e-commerce shopping. And we compile it and then we deliver it to our customers and others to show them how they should move forward with their e-commerce strategy.
Okay, it's a good sample size here. You got more than 4,000 customers. So one thing, we can start at the bottom going up. I see engaging with customer service via social media. I mean, 44% are doing that at least monthly. So how else do you see customers using social media on their smartphone devices to engage with retailers?
Yeah, I mean, through the survey that we did this year, you'll see that there's more and more usage of social media. And from a social media perspective, the way that our customers or the customers are engaging in social media is while they're on social media. So as you know, probably as a user of Facebook and other social media platforms, there's many hours in the day that people are on social media. So from a retailer perspective, to be able to deliver appropriate content while they're on their channel is very important. And we've seen now more and more purchases being done through those social media channels. So as the millennials are entering the workforce, as they're coming up with more disposable income, they are purchasing more. So it's very important for retailers to identify where they are in the course of the day and deliver the content relevant to them.
And also, I think as we were talking about, finding the right product that they can purchase, because not every retailer has that, right?
Exactly. I think on your mobile device, there's a lot of clutter, whether it be email or text messages. So it's very important to deliver the right message at the right time while you're on your device so that you can take action to do a purchase.
Okay, yeah, how do you work email into the entire mix that people are seeing on mobile?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. As a retailer, you've got to understand your customer, understand the demographic of your customer, and then either deliver messages via text messaging, through social media, or through email. And through the study, some of the things that came out is the millennials and men prefer text messages, and then the older population and females prefer emails. So depending on the products that you're selling, you got to identify that and identify the needs of your audience and ensure that you're delivering the message at the right time. So timing is important. In addition to that, the content you're providing is very important. So maybe if you have the capabilities of understanding what your consumers have looked at in the past, if you can deliver that and serve it up to them in the future through one of these channels, you have a better chance of selling your products.
All right, that's something I can remember. Females prefer emails. That's an easy one to remember. Okay, so I see check store inventory. That's kind of mid-level there in usage. And we've had some other conversations here today at IRC about page load time and how that affects conversions because people want things so quickly. And I'd imagine the importance of seeing the store inventory. If you're on your mobile device and hey, you want to know, I want it now, is it in my neighborhood, or if not, should I order it and ship it to myself? Mm-hmm. But retailers are faced with, well, on the one hand, we've got these legacy systems, and sometimes there's even different divisions here between e-commerce and between the actual brick and mortar stores. So what can retailers do to start breaking down some of those barriers to provide that seamless experience?
Yeah, I think inventory availability and visibility of inventory is critical today, and it's going to be more critical as you go forward in terms of serving up information to consumers. So we know right now that as consumers shop, they look for a few things. They look for pictures of products. They look for reviews of products. They also go to social media to look for content regarding products. The last thing they want to understand is the inventory available? So if I go to a store, can I actually get it when I get to the store? So that is critical to a purchase process. The other thing that's important for a retailer to understand is, do they understand where their inventory is across their supply chain? So do they know whether or not it's in a DC? Do they know if it's available in a store? Because then if I'm a consumer and I want to go visit a store and it's not available, they have to have the ability to look at other stores within the geographic area and maybe shipping directly to a consumer. So inventory visibility It's important for the consumer, but it's also important as retailers embark on their omni-channel strategy to understand where their products are.
Well, you were mentioning it can even help with demand management if one area of the country has a higher demand for a product than another area.
Yeah, and that's critical too, because it's not so much you always want to ship from the closest area, but you want to consider the price of the product. So an example would be if you were a retailer and one of your consumers wanted to buy a product in New Jersey. Likely, if it's not there in that store, the most logical place to go is the next closest store. But if you're at the end of a season, say in another state, say in Florida, that you don't think that that good is going to sell and you're going to have to discount it going forward, you may want to ship it out of your Florida store to that consumer in New Jersey to avoid that markdown in Florida. So it's very dynamic in terms of how you want to look at an omni-channel strategy to ship directly to a consumer. And there are algorithms that companies will come up with, algorithms, that will help you facilitate that decision.
Okay, it's interesting as we look, higher up in the chart here. A lot of these most popular usages of mobile really relate to brick and mortar retailers. Not shopping online as much. Really, the number one thing there, finding stores or store-related information. So, how can, if you've got a brick and mortar store, how can you really stick out for the customer to get found on the mobile device?
From my perspective, a lot of shopping is done through search engines. Right, so number one, you want to get people to your site. Within your site, one of the critical things to display first and probably at the top of your page is store locations. That's one of the main reasons why customers will go to the site in order to understand where can I go buy your product. So make it very easy and very visible to that consumer when they go to their smartphone or to their tablet is going to be critical to make sure they can find your store effectively.
Okay, and lastly, so the products themselves, right? We talked about a lot of these shifts happening with millennials being using smartphones. We were talking earlier, you were mentioning a story where it's not just the actual smartphone usage, but it's the products themselves and how there's a brand that has products more for older people and have to figure out how can they get it to the millennials.
Exactly, yeah, and in one of my recent visits, I visited a customer and one of their brand is really targeted at kind of the older, more affluent demographic. They realize obviously that's an aging population, so they got to figure out how do I get to a younger population. That younger population in today's world may not have the disposable income as the older population does. So now they're searching for ways to bring those customers into the fold to buy their product and also have them then potentially graduate into the more expensive product. So retailers have to search for opportunities maybe to look at other less expensive products to add to their portfolio, to bring the younger population in, and then as they get older and have more disposable income, they can graduate to the more expensive products.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for coming by, Lou, sharing your data with us.
Great.
Thank you for watching, and you can see many more videos at marketingsherpa.com/IRCE.